Gospel of the day, February 3rd, 2026. Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 43. And when Jesus had crossed again in the boat to the other side, a great crowd gathered about him, and he was beside the sea. Then came one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name, and seeing him, he fell at his feet and besought him, saying, "My little daughter is at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, so that she may be made well and live." And a great crowd followed him and thronged about him. And there was a woman who had had a flow of blood for 12 years, and who had suffered much under many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was no better but rather grew worse. She had heard the reports about Jesus, and came up behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, "If I touch even his garments, I shall be made well." And immediately the hemorrhage ceased, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. And Jesus, perceiving in himself that power had gone forth from him, immediately turned about in the crowd and said, "Who touched my garments?" And his disciples said to him, "You see the crowd pressing around you, and yet you say, 'Who touched me?'" And he looked around to see who had done it. But the woman, knowing what had been done to her, came in fear and trembling and fell down before him and told him the whole truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease." While he was still speaking, there came from the ruler's house some who said, "Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further?" But ignoring what they said, Jesus said to the ruler of the synagogue,
"Do not fear, only believe."
And he allowed no one to follow him except Peter and James and John, the brother of James. When they came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, he saw a tumult, and people weeping and wailing loudly. And when he had entered, he said to them, "Why do you make a tumult and weep? The child is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him. But he put them all outside and took the child's father and mother and those who were with him, and went in where the child was, taking her by the hand. He said to her, "Talitha cumi," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." And immediately the girl got up and walked, for she was 12 years old, and immediately they were overcome with amazement. And he strictly charged them that no one should know this, and told them to give her something to eat. The gospel is clear. Christ demands that we press through the crowd with desperate faith, like the hemorrhaging woman, and trust him, even when all hope seems dead, like Jairus. Because his power to heal and resurrect is greater than our circumstances, our shame, and even death itself. Reflect on this. The woman had been bleeding for 12 years, suffering under physicians, spending everything growing worse. And she was ritually unclean, an outcast who shouldn't have been in that crowd at all, yet she pressed through anyway because she believed Jesus could heal what no one else could fix. You've been bleeding too. Maybe not physically, but spiritually, morally, relationally. And you've tried everything to stop it. Self-help, willpower, therapy, even religion, and you're still broken, still falling, still wondering if you're too far gone for healing. Meanwhile, Jairus watched his daughter die while Jesus was delayed by this unclean woman. And when they told him she's dead, stop bothering the teacher, Jesus said, "Do not fear, only believe." Because even when every visible sign says it's over, When you failed again and the mourners are already laughing at the absurdity of hope, Christ can still speak over what's dead in you and raise it to life. The narrow path isn't about never falling or bleeding out. It's about pressing through the crowd in your shame to touch his garment and believing even when they're already preparing your funeral. Because the same power that healed the woman and raised the girl is available to you right now if you'll stop pretending you're not desperate and actually reach for him. Jesus, I've been bleeding for years and I'm out of options, out of strength. I'm wondering if I'm too broken for you to heal. I'm reaching for you now in my shame and desperation, and I'm choosing to believe even when everything looks dead. So speak arise over whatever is dying in me. Stop the hemorrhage, I can't stop myself. And raise me up because I can't do this alone, and I'm done pretending I can. Amen. Hope is dead, but the King is here, rise. Learn the faith.